How to recognize a steroid dummy. Not taking any pharmaceutical grade gear, not doing any blood work, not measuring their blood pressure, running oral only cycles. Wrong. Guess again, buddy. We're well beyond that here. The dumbest thing I see people do is run Vigorous Steve here, so it seems that I have to make this video every single year, just as a refresher for people who are new to the steroid game, or for all of the people who simply forgot what risk and harm mitigation is all about. I see the same common mistakes made over and over and over again, and since I no longer offer coaching services, I'm going to help you pull your own head out of your own ass with a quick and forceful pull that might still take 10 minutes or so. Just watch this video to the end. And don't forget to clean up after yourself. And don't worry, you'll get another refresher next year because every dummy steroid abuser out there will slowly but surely fall right back down to complacency baseline and go right back to their silly old habits. Uncle Steve, your online steroid daddy, will slap some sense into you on a yearly basis going forward. So here's rookie mistake number 1, not increasing your micronutrient intake to match the increased micronutrient demand now that you're taking performance-enhancing drugs. All of the side effects that you're experiencing right now, it's very likely that it's related to a micronutrient deficiency. I mapped all the commonly associated side effects of anabolic androgenic steroids to the expected side effects of particular micronutrient deficiencies. I have a very lengthy, in-depth, very comprehensive, and all-inclusive article on my website. Yet, nobody read it. The steroids no longer work as expected, and now you want to up the dose preferably to 200%. Wrong, wrong, wrong. You might be deficient in zinc and selenium, which help with androgen-mediated gene transcription. How much of an effect do you expect to get on the androgen receptor if some of the cofactors are not present in sufficient amounts? Just because the dietary reference intakes or daily values have been established by the National Institute of Health doesn't mean that you need to adhere to these intakes because they have been established for general population. You, as an athlete taking performance-enhancing drugs, do you identify as general population? Maybe you need a little bit more zinc or selenium in your micronutrient intake profile. Are you feeling fatigued and lethargic and now you want to up the dose and add in the Turinabol or Equipoise or methylene blue or injectable ephedrine, whatever you can get your hands on to get your energy levels back? It might be as simple as being deficient in B vitamins and iron, which all contribute to the production of red blood cells, increasing your hematocrit, increasing the oxygen carrying capacity of your red blood cells. Maybe that is the underlying condition of why your performance is subpar. Or you're experiencing hair loss on cycle, now you downed a whole bottle of finasteride and started bathing in ketoconazole and minoxidil shampoo, all of the shampoo bottles you could find in the house. Think again, bro. Maybe you're just deficient in vitamin A, vitamin B7, biotin, vitamin D3, calcium, zinc, and even collagen all contribute to hair growth, right? I can't emphasize this enough. So many guys get themselves into serious issues megadosing the finasteride or dutasteride when it's even not required. They can simply pay a little bit more attention to their nutrition. And for all the guys who got a tomato face while tying their shoelaces or having blood bursting from their eyes, nose, and ears while doing heavy deads or squats, the same guys who want to go on the telmisartan and nebivolol super stack while continuing with the injectable Anadrol pre-workout, why don't you take some magnesium? I can't emphasize this enough. There's so many people out there on this planet, whether those are athletes taking performance-enhancing drugs or general population for that matter, who are magnesium deficient. Magnesium helps to relax and dilate the arteries and blood vessels, allowing you to have sufficient blood pressure management. And if the magnesium doesn't fix you, right, you can always look into telmisartan, or you can always look into nebivolol, another ARB or beta blocker to keep your blood pressure under control. But the root cause of so many issues with blood pressure and blood pressure alone, magnesium deficiency, right? And when you go on magnesium, whether that's magnesium citrate, glycinate, bisglycinate, whatever formula you prefer, multiple servings with meals throughout the day, not too high to the point you get diarrhea, obviously, then you need to dial back your magnesium intake. When you start supplementing with magnesium, also look into vitamin D3 and vitamin K supplementation to bring all of that magnesium and calcium that you get from your diet to the proper areas of your body. And if you found any of this to be relatable, please read that article. It's linked down below. You can fix so many issues. All of the side effects you think that are stemming from performance-enhancing drugs, you can probably fix by being in a micronutrient sufficient state. And most of the over-the-counter supplements which help to combat micronutrient deficiency are probably cheaper than running a boatload of ancillaries. Rookie mistake number 2, not doing deep tissue massage therapy or any kind of therapy that helps you with adhesions, particularly in the areas where you start injecting. Scar tissue buildup gets more problematic the longer you take injectable performance-enhancing drugs. And in the beginning, you might be able to get away with it, right? You have a couple lumps and bumps in your shoulders and glutes. Maybe you start running out of spots and you need to hit your lats or other parts of the body as well. Over time, this scar tissue will just bound up to the point it gets knotty. And then, guess what? Limited range of motion, knee pain, elbow pain, shoulder pain. All these things will slowly start to creep up with you, and then you want to megadose the TB500 and BPC-157, growth hormone, GHK copper, collagen supplements, etc. If you start loading up your rear delts and now it looks like you're an American football player wearing those shoulder pads 24/7, what do you think that's going to do to your bench press or shoulder press or any kind of movement that involves your arms? Right? Not only are you losing definition and it actually looks kind of horrible when you take your shirt off. Really, I would rather do an entire steroid cycle subcutaneously, and if that means you get to use a limited amount of milliliters because the injection depot of the subcutaneous space holds maybe 1 milliliter at maximum, so be it. Now you end up healthier too. Now you get to limit the amount of performance-enhancing drugs that you take, and ultimately your blood work results and your overall health parameters should like 10 times better than before when you started pinning 3 cc's per day. And if you absolutely must go intramuscularly because your steroid intake is so high because you're competing at the highest level, okay, I get it. Sacrifices have to be made. The subcutaneous depot is not sufficient for your steroid cycle. Buy yourself a lacrosse ball and a foam roller. Do stretches under load. Do the reverse hyperextension. Look into cupping, deep tissue massage therapy, Graston technique, active release therapy, acupuncture, tout band therapy, and even owning a massage gun and using that regularly on your injection sites is always better than nothing. Anything you can do to get rid of the scar tissue and remove the adhesions at the site of administrations so you can train pain-free and not limit your range of motion and not look like you're filled with lumps and bumps, which is very problematic when you step on stage. Subcutaneous injections in the upper glute area, that's the best way to get around all of these issues that most beginner steroid users are suffering from. And lastly, rookie mistake number 3, and this one really pisses me off, it's playing the dumb card. Really, dude? Nowadays, there's not an excuse anymore not to get educated. You literally, with your mobile phone, you have the world at your fingertips. So instead of scrolling on Instagram or Tinder or Grindr or OnlyFans, why don't you take an hour or 2 out of the day to do some fucking research? For fuck's sake. And most of the commonly asked questions I have already made videos about with timestamps so you can skip ahead, right? Or you can spend your time on PubMed, or you can spend your time on Wikipedia, which has excellent information, albeit that you still have to do additional research and read some studies from PubMed or Google Scholar or anywhere else that these studies are publicized. You can go to the steroid forums, you can go to the membership websites. There is no excuse not to get educated. I'm literally spoon feeding you the information, and all you really need to do is sit through a couple ads, a like, right? Leaving a like and a comment for the algorithm. And maybe if the information was useful for you, at your own doing, at your own discretion, use some of my discount codes to support all of the work that I put into these videos. And I'm not the only one trying to educate you guys. I mean, there's so many guys out there that talk about performance-enhancing drugs and use them safely. You can pick and choose who you listen to, but there's no fucking excuse anymore not to know what you're doing. I didn't know. That excuse is no longer valid. Really, I understand that it's easier to buy performance-enhancing drugs online than it is to do research, because buying online is as simple as sending a couple emails and then transferring the Bitcoin, or using some sort of alternative payment method. And then all you need to do is wait for the products to arrive and start pinning as soon as the package is in the mailbox. I get it. Research takes time, but it's the research that keeps you healthy. It's the research that allows you to make better decisions. It's the research that prevents side effects. So why are you not doing the research, bro? And to help you on your way, start looking into the drug interactions, the drug overlap. Look into your genetic predispositions if you're at risk for certain side effects because you got fucked on the genetic lottery and you're more susceptible to develop hair loss or gynecomastia or acne or whatever else that seems to be unfavorable in your particular DNA, right? Everything overlaps and compounds, and some of the drug choices that you're making might come around to haunt you or even kill you. So please, for your own safety and health and well-being, do some research on the potential side effects of each performance-enhancing drugs and how they can potentially overlap with the limitations you have in your genetic makeup and things you were forced to do or had to take in the past. Ultimately, it's your responsibility and your responsibility alone, because you're knowingly taking these performance-enhancing drugs. They're not magically being injected into your body, right? You make the choice to buy them and you make the choice to inject them. So now also make the choice to research, stay healthy, and ensure quality of life in the long run. And just because you think you know something today doesn't mean that the medical system isn't always evolving. If you start doing research and you neglect this particular research for 3 to 5 years, guess what? The medical literature and the scientific evidence has probably changed. You need to stay up to date and make sure you do additional research if you keep using particular compounds, because the scientific field is always evolving. And the longer you take performance-enhancing drugs, the further you get away from the medical system. So guess what? You can't really rely on doctors who have a medical license to lose, because they're not very interested in keeping up with the research on performance-enhancing drugs and how to keep patients healthy, because that's not what they went to university for, dude. So long story short, to make sure that you eat healthy to mitigate all of the potential side effects that you think are related to performance-enhancing drugs, don't be afraid to go over the dietary reference intakes or daily values, which have been established for general population. But you're an athlete, you're a user of performance-enhancing drugs, you probably need a little bit more micronutrients here and there. Take your progress pictures, please, every single week. Just because you don't see the progress doesn't mean you need to up the dose and go on a full-blown chase iron cycle from 1 month to the next. Progress is slow. It takes time, and you can't see the progress unless you take progress pictures and start tracking your body weight, comparing that to the progress pictures, and see if you get leaner but harder, or if you get fluffier but bigger and stronger, right? Or hire a coach who can make the adjustments for you. Always ensure that you have continuous progress and guide you to the process of making these adjustments to your performance-enhancing drug intake, to your micronutrients, to your diet, to your training strategy, and keeping you healthy by helping you analyze your blood work results. And bro, bite the pillow, because the massage therapist is going in dry, elbows deep. Your life will be 10 times better, albeit that hour, 1.5 hours of deep tissue massage therapy is incredibly painful at times. Your life will be 10 times better if you keep up with your physical therapy, even if you have to use a lacrosse ball or a foam roller or massage gun, albeit that deep tissue massage therapy from a qualified therapist, infinitely better. And to close it off, just remember that your worst enemies are not missing any shots, so why would you? You'll never defeat them in battle and one-up them in life if you keep half-assing your cycle and not do everything you need to do to develop a freaky, healthy, muscular, aesthetically pleasing physique. And with all of that said and done, you can buy most of the micronutrients which helps mitigate side effects associated with performance-enhancing drugs over on iHerb or Gorilla Mind, who also has several health supplements available. I have discount codes for both iHerb and Gorilla Mind. Links down below. And if you want to take your health to the next level with excellent oversight from qualified healthcare providers, look no further than Merck Health if you live in the United States. They can help you interpret your blood work results. If there's something wrong, they can guide you through the process of getting yourself healthy again. I have 2 comprehensive lab panels with all of the relevant blood work parameters over at Merck Health. One is very inclusive. The other one is a little bit more budget. Pick and choose. Either way, you get 10% off with discount code Vigorous. You know what they say, health is wealth, but health is also gains. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find everything that I'm associated with down below in the YouTube description section. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at VigorSteve. Vigorous crew, you guys know what to do. No rookie mistakes here, but I did make them back in the day. That's why I'm trying to prevent you guys from making the same mistakes. Don't be like me. Don't figure it out the hard way. All you need to do is follow a couple YouTube videos on this YouTube channel and everything will be revealed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.